Motivation is lacking. You're like annoyed with yourself because you have goals and you know what you're wanting to work towards, but the last thing that you want to do right now is actually work towards them. Yeah, I know. I'm there right now, but we are going to work through this together. Here's the deal. There's no reason why you're not motivated. If you were to sit here and be like, why do I feel so unmotivated right now? You don't even know how to answer that question because you're like, I don't know. I don't know why I'm not motivated. It doesn't make sense. If you're like me, you've got a beautiful vision board, both for the year and a monthly one. You spent this week writing down your goals. You just recently remade your 12-week year. Whatever it might be, you might be so clear on what it is that you're wanting to do this week, but you're still lacking the motivation. And that sucks. I get it. It's a crappy feeling because it's like, why? Why am I not motivated to do the things that I want to do? So today I want to just quickly help you with a few things that I work through in my own brain that I'm physically going to do right now that helps me at least get the ball rolling, gets the momentum started, and hopefully helps me make some strides towards achieving my goals. Okay, so first and foremost, at least for me, I have got to get physically in an area where I feel more motivated or where I typically get things accomplished. So for me, that is sitting here in my office chair, here in my office, right here at my desk. I realize that one might seem really obvious, but hey, you did click on this video and you are watching this video, so just in the event that that wasn't an obvious choice and something you'd already done, now hopefully you've done it. The next thing that I personally like to do is I like to grab my planner. And again, might seem like an obvious thing, but since I am very big on weekly planning, I like to sit down on Sunday evenings and I like to plan out my week. I go ahead and grab out my planner because like right now, for example, it's closed. Usually I have it laying open on my desk so that I can easily look over at what it is that I'm wanting to do and what it is that I have on my to-do list for this specific day. So by opening that up and taking a look, I'm already more clear on, okay, these are the things that I wanted to do. But something I want to be really, really clear on is just because you had initially planned on doing those things today, and if you're like me, you might have a big, long to-do list here, doesn't mean you have to do all those things today. Plans get to be fluid. They get to be flexible. They don't have to be absolutely set in stone. You can change them. And so when I'm in a mood like this personally, I will look at a list like that and I will decide, okay, I'm going to pick one thing to do, one thing to start on, and usually it's the thing that if I have something that has a deadline or if I have something that it absolutely must get done today, that's the first thing that I'm going to work on, and I literally will ignore the rest of that list, at least for now. I may change my mind, but at least for now, I will focus on just one thing. The next thing that I will do is I will literally take a look up, and I'm currently looking at my vision boards that are on my wall. I have them on a whiteboard right here above my desk so that I can constantly just quickly look up to them to remind myself what the heck it is that I'm working for. Why am I trying to do this? Why did I make that to-do list? Why am I working so hard? What goals have I set? So I have both a yearly vision board and then I always do a monthly vision board as well. If you've seen my channel at all, you know that I do a monthly vision board. So I also will pair it with pictures, and this is part of why I do this. I know I've shared this in other videos, but I want to share it again. I try to use pictures that involve my own life so that when I look at them, I can be motivated by them. So in this moment, I'm taking a look at my vision boards just to quickly, even without even being able to read the words from here, because honestly, my eyes aren't good enough to be able to read the words from here. I mean, I know about what most of them are, but I would have to get closer sitting here to be able to see that. But I can see the pictures, and I can see the pictures that I've specifically chosen to include on these vision boards that bring a smile to my face, that bring joy to me and remind me, oh yeah, I set that goal and this is why. I set that goal and it's important to me because I set that goal because this is something that I am so excited about achieving, because I know in the future, if I do achieve this, I'm gonna be so proud, so thankful, so grateful that I put in the work to do exactly that. And so with that, something that I will kind of do to myself, and I want to encourage you to give this a shot. I feel like this works for some people, but other people, maybe it doesn't. And it's not necessarily like a trick, but in a sense, it's kind of just like really asking myself, did you mean that when you set that as a goal, or were you just playing around? And so I will say something along the lines of, achieving blank doesn't actually matter to me. Achieving blank isn't really that big of a deal to me. Because when I insert a goal into that blank, and if I don't actually believe that to be true, that hurts. And I'm like, oh shoot. So I'm over here, maybe I could use my YouTube channel for example. Posting weekly content isn't that important to me. When I say that, I'm like, that is not true. That is a false statement. So then I'm like, oh shoot, well, if that's the case, then it's time to get to work to make sure that I'm getting that weekly content posted, right? If I say something with my own personal health journey, working out to feel my best isn't that big of a deal. That is incorrect. Like, that is just a very false statement, and I just don't like the way that that makes me feel. So I actually use this, I guess it's like reverse thinking all of the time to do all kinds of things. Cleaning my house. Having a clean house doesn't matter to me. Having a clean house doesn't make me happy. And it's like, no, those aren't true. Taking the time, even if it's 15 minutes to just tidy up my home or to do the dishes or to fold the laundry or whatever it might be, when I do those things, I feel so much better. And so if I start to talk myself out of doing some of those things, I will immediately insert one of these phrases. And I swear to you, it helps every single time. And I get up and I get after it because I'm like, that is not me. I am somebody who gets stuff done. I am somebody who likes how I feel when I get a workout done. I am somebody who loves how my home feels when it's clean and tidy. I am somebody who loves this journey on YouTube, but I want to make sure that I'm putting out weekly content as promised, you know? So I make sure to really think through those things and then ask myself that or tell myself that. And if it feels wrong, then I don't do it. Now, maybe you have a situation that comes along where you fill in the blank and you state that phrase, but you're like, you know what? That actually is kind of true in this season. Again, that is the beauty of this journey, that our goals get to change. They get to be fluid. They will change with seasons of life. There have been all kinds of things over the course of the last few years that at one moment were really important to me, and a couple months later it was like, wait, that was a goal of mine? I completely forgot about that. That isn't important to me at all anymore. So that is something that we have to just be really, really honest with ourselves about. I'll give you an example, like to know it. For multiple months, I had it on my monthly vision board that I was going to start a like to know it page. I did start it, but I was gonna post because I like to share just fun, really, really reasonably priced outfits. And I was like, okay, this would be a great place for me to put that because it doesn't really necessarily fit with my YouTube. It doesn't necessarily fit with the content that I put on my Instagram. So this could be my space to do that. But I kept putting it off, and month after month, I would come to look at my goals for the month and I would be like, I didn't do that again. I didn't do that again. And finally, I inserted that into that blank of, you know, creating a like to know it or posting content on like to know it isn't that big of a deal to me. It was true. It wasn't that big of a deal to me. That's why I wasn't doing it. So in that moment, I knew that goal actually doesn't really matter to me anymore. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove it for now. So just be really honest with yourself when it comes to that. And so to finish up, when it comes to being motivated or a lack of being motivated, oftentimes it comes down to the things that I've just shared with you. You might not actually be not motivated and or motivated. It might be because that goal doesn't matter to you anymore. Or maybe that goal does matter to you, but you just need to just get started, to get going. And that is my final tip, and my final part of this is you just have to start. Even if it's like, I'm just gonna sit down and work for 5 minutes. Literally, get yourself a timer. This is just like a little kitchen timer. I got it because it's very on brand with the color, but you can get a kitchen timer. You could just use your cell phone and type in the 5 minutes on the timer app on your phone. Doesn't matter what it is, but start for 5 minutes, whether that's getting a workout in, whether that's sitting down to work on your business, whether that's, you know, going to do meal prep, whether that's cleaning your home. It does not matter what it is. Start really small. Do a minute. Do 5 minutes, do 15 minutes. And then when that timer goes off, then ask yourself, is my momentum going or am I done? Because if at that moment you're like, no, I'm done, then you have to honor that for yourself. You have to honor it, because otherwise this method no longer works, because then you've essentially lied to yourself. And that's the last thing that we wanna do. We don't wanna be over here lying to ourselves. We wanna be treating ourselves with respect. But sometimes we just need a little kickstart. Sometimes we just need to physically get that ball rolling. And once we do, we're off to the races. I don't know about you, but the number of times that I have been not motivated and then I've gotten started And then before I know it, hours have gone by, and then I complete this, and so then I want to complete this, and then I want to complete this. And before I know it, I have gotten so much done. Hours have passed, and I'm like, I cannot believe I was not motivated before all this started, because I've gotten so much done, and I'm so proud of myself. Whereas other times, I'm like, no, I worked for 15 minutes and that's all I could handle, and I needed to take a break. And I'm so glad that I honored myself in that way by stopping when that timer went off. Because then I can know the next time I use this timer trick, it will be something that I actually trust and that I actually can utilize in a way that's going to be helpful. Because if you use the timer, you ignore it, you let it go off and you keep working even though you didn't want to keep working, you're essentially telling yourself this is bull crap and it didn't actually work, right? So you have to honor that. But for me, that is a huge, huge thing that helps so, so much. Get a little bit done. Ignore the rest of your to-do list. Pick one thing to work on. Get in a professional space if you're doing something professional, or if it's a workout, get in your workout room or whatever, go to the gym and get to work. Set that timer and then get started. Get that momentum going, or just finish the task as quickly as you can, but as well as you can. We still want it to be good work, and then be done if you need to be done. That's okay too. The final piece that I think is worth mentioning before we wrap up this video, and that is motivation is fleeting. It's never going to hang around. And I hear so many people say things, comments on my videos, but also clients that I work with, I just can't get motivated. I just can't get motivated. I never stay motivated, and that's why I fall off. No one's ever going to be motivated all the time. No one is motivated all of the time. So often we all feel the way that you and I have been feeling right here and now as I sat down to record this video and share this with you. We're not going to be motivated. There are so many times where we're going to feel not motivated, but it's up to us to remind ourselves of our goals, to remind ourselves of what it is that actually matters, to remind ourselves of why we set those goals in the first place and if they still matter, and then to just tell ourselves, hey, I'm gonna do a little bit. If I wanna keep going, I can. If I don't want to, I get to stop. And that's the beauty of this. But you have to be real with yourself and also accept the fact that being motivated all the time is never, ever, ever going to be the case. So as long as you have that in your mind and you know I'm never gonna be motivated all the time, it really relieves a ton of pressure that you need to feel motivated in order to do a good job, or you need to feel motivated in order to crush a workout, or you needed to be motivated in order to finish your to-do list. No more is that associated or connected. You've now broken that connection, you've broken that chain, and you know that completing that to-do list comes down to you getting the ball rolling, you utilizing the time that you have, you being disciplined to do it, and or disciplined to say, I'm only gonna do a little bit today, and I'm going to make time to get those tasks done on a different day, or at a different time of today, or whatever that looks like for you. So I hope that this was so helpful. I know it's helpful for me just through chatting about this. I am more clear and more motivated or ready just to get started on the to-do list that I have today. I'm gonna start with the most important task, and then if I feel like continuing on, I will keep going. But if I don't, I'm going to stop, and I'm gonna honor myself in that. I will also definitely be using my timer. My thoughts are I'm gonna start with 30 minutes. I think I'm actually willing to work more than 30 minutes, so maybe I'll do an hour. Either way, I'm gonna set this, I'm gonna utilize this, and then once that timer goes off, I'm gonna be honest with myself and ask, are you ready to keep going or are you ready to stop? My honest answer is what I'm going to do with that. So anyways, that is what I've got for you today. I hope this was helpful. I hope that it was just kind of that like kick in the booty, but also just that reminder and reassurance that motivation is fleeting, but also you absolutely have the ability to make these decisions for yourself and to not let motivated or not motivated keep you or get you to do the things that you're wanting to accomplish in life. So thanks for being here. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Maybe share it with somebody who's also lacking in motivation. If you have any tips for how you get and stay motivated, even though we know that no one's always motivated, but if you have any tips that you would like to share, make sure to drop those in the comments below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know if there's anything else that you want to know in the area of motivation or just how you go about doing things to make sure that you get your stuff done. I would love to chat with you more in the comments. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it so, so much, and I will see you in the next video. See ya.